Hello, my friends, and welcome to Nuggets at Noon. And as you can see, something has happened here in eastern North Carolina that very seldom happens, and that is we got some snow last night. And what an exciting time. To be young again and get out and play in it. But anyway, we welcome you back today, and I looked up the word snow in my Bible app, and it is mentioned 25 times in the Bible. Most of those, well, I say most of them, almost half of the times it's mentioned as a color. For example, the three incidences in the New Testament where it's mentioned in the context of white as snow. And but there's an incident in 1 Samuel chapter number 23, that was 2 Samuel chapter 23, in verse number 20, and also in 1 Chronicles chapter 11, 22, the same story, but it is about one of David's mighty men. And his name was Benaiah, and the scripture says that he went down into a snowy pit and killed a lion. Now, there's several things I want to take note about Mr. Benaiah, this mighty man, warrior of David's. First of all, it was cold. If there was snow on the ground, it was a cold day, and who knows how cold it was, but we can imagine him going down into the snowy pit after this lion in the cold. And secondly, it was probably wet and slippery. And thirdly, he was a brave man to go after the lion. The scripture doesn't tell us that the lion was a threat to them. It doesn't say, really give us any facts other than the words here implies that he intentionally went down into the pit on a cold, wet, and snowy day and killed this lion. Now, I don't know what he had in his hand to do this with, but I can just say that he removed the obstacle. I would guess that probably this lion was an obstacle for the soldiers because why else would he go down to kill a lion? And it put it in the context of a mighty warrior. So I want to just mention to you today that oftentimes when we're doing mighty things for God, there's obstacles that may be in the way. You know, it might be and I'm speaking figuratively now, but it might be the weather. It could be, just difficult, like the wetness and the slippery slopes that we may have to travel sometimes to do the will of God. And also just being brave enough to attack. There are lions that sometimes come into our lives that will hinder us and keep us and try to stop us from doing what God has called us to do. But I want to encourage you today, be a mighty warrior, be a mighty man of God. It's interesting to me of why and how this was just recorded. It was a brief, just one verse in both of these books, just one verse about this man, but it took note of it. And I believe that God takes note of it when we push past the obstacles and fight the lions that will attack us in our life. God bless you. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and have a good day in the snow if you're in eastern North Carolina. Bye-bye.